The setup for this trick isn't very difficult. From your deck of 54 cards, and make sure all the cards are there and so they add up to 54 and not less, else the trick won't work. So from your deck of 54 cards, pull out the two jokers and write the numbers 18 and 43 on them. So this is your initial setup. Now to continue, count 9 cards from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now 9 is a number used very often in Magic, and if you notice very carefully, the cards have something related to the number 9. 9 twos are 18 and 9 fives are 45, and you must wonder why this is 43 and not 45. Well, we discounted the two jokers, so it's 45 minus 2, which is 43. Now I'll tell you the math behind this trick in a while, but I'll first go through the setup. So once again, 9 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards, place any one of the two jokers face up on this face down deck. So we have 9 cards and the bottom card is the joker. The 10th card is the joker. Now count to 18 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The 19th card should be the turned around joker. Now put the top pack, the smaller packet, on the bigger one. So in totality, we have 9 cards, 1 joker, 18 cards, another joker. That's the setup for this pile. Now the position of these cards doesn't really matter, so you can shuffle them at random. Now place these cards on the top. While giving a performance, you do not need to worry about the turnaround jokers, because when you refill, more often than not the jokers will not be shown. And this is because the joker doesn't come under the grip of your hand and it slips away with another card. So I'll do it once again, and I'm pretty sure you won't be able to see the joker, although it's turned over. Alright, once you've done this, you want to ask the spectator to cut to 1/3 of the deck. So it has to be any time after the first 9 cards. So if you notice, here is my turned around joker, right? Here is my turned around joker. So any card after this turned around joker is fine. But if the spectator decides to put the 1/3 here, the trick will not work. So this card is essentially between the two jokers that we had. This is the first packet. Now for the second packet, the spectator needs to cut after the second joker. The joker here is positioned, the second joker is positioned somewhere about here. So you need to make sure that the spectator cuts to about here. And more often than not, when I perform these tricks, the spectator almost always cuts till about half of the deck here. So we now have 3 piles in front of us. Alright. Now take the second pile, the middle one, place it on top of the first pile. Place these 2 piles on top of the third pile. Give it another refill, because as I said, the spectator will not know the joker is turned around. Now fan these cards out. Now you will want to make note that the spectator realizes that these cards are not turned around by you, and wherever they have been turned around, the pile before that should be squared up and placed in front of you. Then the pile between the two jokers again should be squared up and placed in front of you, and the last pile should be squared up and placed in front of you. So now you have 3 piles in front of you. These are the two jokers, and the jokers say 43 and 18. Now you want to make sure that when you're replacing these piles back to form your original deck, the first packet now should go on the last one, and then this packet on top of the second one. Now count till 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. And the 18th card will be the spectator's card. Then again, once again, count to 43 cards, and whatever the 43rd card is will be the spectator's card. It took me a while to find out why the math behind this trick and how the math behind this trick works. And it's extremely interesting to know. So I've noted it down here. So what I did is make a diagram of our cards. Now, because it's a mirror image, it will be difficult for you to see what I've written. But these are the top 9 cards that we had. Then this is a J, which indicates the joker. Then we had 18 cards in between the two jokers out here, and this R is the rest of the pile. Now this was the first step. Now in the second step, we had 9 cards on the top, the joker here, and then we cut somewhere between these two jokers. So we cut somewhere between these 18 cards. Now assume that you had X cards remaining. So 18 minus X cards were on top and X cards were on bottom. So in totality you had 18 cards between the two jokers. So 18 minus X plus X gives you 18. Alright. Then then you had the joker, and then below the joker you had Y minus Z cards. So this adds up to nothing but Z. The spectator can choose to cut anywhere here where he or she pleases. Now you have formed 3 piles. Your first pile consists of 9, joker and 18 minus X. I've written 1P here. Your second pile consists of again 1P, which has X, joker, Y minus Z. Your third pile contains Z. Now in the third step, as we reposition the cards, what we are essentially doing is placing that X packet here, the joker here, then Y minus Z, 9 and jokers are placed here, and then below that we have the 8 minus X and Z packet. So the number of cards are maintained, but the position and order of cards is different. Now in the third step and the final step, when we reposition the cards again, we get X and 18 minus X on the top. Now if you calculate, it adds up to nothing but 18 cards, right? And keep in mind that the box I have made on this is to indicate that the card in this pile, the bottom card in this pile, is a spectator's chosen card. So what this means is that when you add up these two piles, the bottom card here, because I've squared this up, means the bottom card is the 18th card. Then we have Z, we have Y, and we have 9 cards in the end. Now, if you add all this up, and if you go up till Y, I have not boxed Y, but Y is the place where the spectator had chosen his place, you'll get 43. And that's why 43 plus 9 will give you 52, which sums up and it matches our calculations. So once again, this will be 18, this will be Z and Y minus Z, which again adds up to Y. And if you remember from here, the card was positioned at Y minus Z. So that's somewhere here, right? And therefore you end up with this final position regardless of the number of cards the spectator had chosen from the top or the bottom. So if you think about this as a whole, you basically have 2 sets. One set is your 18 plus 9 cards and 2 jokers, that is one set. The second set is the remaining cards. Now, because you're cutting cards, you're not changing the order of the cards. The position of your cards remain the same. You're then manipulating the 2 sets to end up with this, which is nothing but 18 and 43. 18th card is the spectator's first card, 43 is the spectator's second chosen card.